Big fan, for starters.
Thank you very much.
Big fan of the music. And tell me about this project. Pretty excited to be involved with this.
I think it's really interesting to be involved in what's essentially like a battle of the bands.
Do you wish you had something like that when you were starting out, or do you look at these guys? Oh, those lucky son of guns. They get a little better of a break than.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a massive amount of exposure immediately. I think definitely. Some of these bands are going to get record deals, even, if they don't win.
Just because of the nature of being the exposure.
Yeah,
sure,
I mean, the world was a completely different place when we were starting the band, and you had to go out a lot. You had to play in clubs, and play in front of nobody for year after year, and try to get opening slots on bigger tours and try to get exposed that way. But it's the modern world of the future.
Do you think these bands are missing out on something that, or would you rather not had that experience, or did
No. I'm glad that I had that experience. I don't think I would do it again right at this point in my life, but God willing, I won't have to. But I think once they get their record deal, and they're going to have to go out, and then they're going to have to prove themselves. They're going to have to prove themselves. I mean, first of all, they're going to have to make a great record, which is not an easy thing to do. No. And then they're going to have to go out and they're going to have to prove themselves live.
Right. And
that was a really interesting thing about watching these bands go, because some of the bands were really like amazing players. The singers sounded great live, and
they were tight.
They were tight, and they really played together. They're like real bands.
What is it that you look for in a band, and you say, okay, these guys have got what it takes? Is it a strong front man and a supporting cast, or an all-around group together? I mean,
I look more for just the band. The first thing I'm thinking to myself is, are they playing together? Like, are they really part of something that's bigger than, themselves? If they're trying to achieve that kind of thing, and if they're more interested in how they look than how they're playing, or being a band.
But that's part of the reality of what's going on out there, too, isn't it? And there's the selling of the package as well.
You definitely need to look into that, but I think that second, or
that will come with.
I think that should come after the fact that you write good songs. First and foremost, you got to write good songs. You got to have strong songs, and you got to be a band. You have to be a band, and that was one of the things that attracted to me about the show, was that. You're dealing with the dynamic of an entire group of people, 4 people, 5 people, 3 people, whatever. There's one band, there's like 12 people in it, so it's kind of interesting.
Part of it is also they can either do their own music or they can do a cover.
Yeah.
You had great success with the cover of Give a Little Bit.
Yeah,
right?
well, that came way later.
Right, I know, but still, that was, not that it's a bad thing.
No.
But is that a hard thing to do? Because people have a preconceived notion of the way a song should go, and do you try to make it your own as opposed to making it a replica or a copy of the original? Yeah,
I mean, you definitely try to make it your own.
Yeah.
That was a pretty amazing song, so it's kind of hard to one-up it. But you sort of, you sort of adapt it to your style of playing, which is interesting. That's going to be interesting to see too, how bands adapt other people's music to their style of playing.
Any Goo Goo Dolls cover songs you're going to do?
Not. No. I really hope not. That would
be
just
going to sit there and give them,
yeah, I'd be like, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. But,
What'd you think when you got the call to do this show? Was it something you had on your radar screen, or did it come out of nowhere?
No, you know what it was? It was one of those things where I sort of like thought it over, and I was sort of like, wow, I don't know, man.
What made you say yes?
Because I found out that the bands were doing original music. If they wanted to, they could do original music, and the fact that it was real bands. And I'm done with my tour. I thought it'd be fun. I go to work. It's 10 blocks from my house.
So sleep in your own bed at night.
Yeah, I get to sleep in my own bed. And it turned out to be a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Before we quickly wrap things up, anything going on with the Goo Goo Dolls? You guys, what's going on for you guys?
Right now, we're just cleaning up some dates that we need to get done. So we're doing a few live things.
New album in the works, or
We got a new album that we're going to start working on because
Okay.
we're building a recording studio in Buffalo.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, there's never been a real recording studio there, so we're putting in a real recording studio for ourselves, and work with some young artists.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, that we think
Get
are,
into more on the producing end of things, maybe.
Yeah, I did a little producing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some of it I enjoyed. Some of it was like, I'd rather, rip my fingernails out with pliers. But we're doing that. We have a greatest hits album that's
great.
coming out. This thing, I couldn't believe it. We've had 14 top 10 hits. So I'm like, when did that happen?
Yeah. I guess when you're in the middle of the storm,
Yeah.
all of a sudden the clouds clear and you go,
Yeah.
holy cow.
Yeah, you kind of look back and go, wow.
Wow.
I haven't wasted my life.
Did all right.
Yeah.
Johnny, thanks a lot.
Thank
A lot of
you
fans
so
in
much,
Boston,
man. Yeah, man.
and we appreciate it.